Hi and welcome back to my channel. My name is Georgia. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you're new here, then thank you for coming. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you love things about business, if you're trying to grow, start a business, get ideas, that is what this channel is here for. And I'm so happy to just be here sharing information with you. I talk about how I was able to open a party store using only business credit. I show you my step-by-step methods. And I also show you how I was able to buy my first investment property, and I made $19,000 within my first 12 months, and so much more about business. I love to talk about business and bring my perspective. So make sure you subscribe if you're interested in any of those things. Today, I want to talk about the 10 best business ideas for women with little to no cost. Oh no, obviously if you're watching this, you're probably a woman. I mean, if you're a man, you can watch too, but woman. So, women, we know so much, and especially in this day and age, I feel like women have the business and they have being a woman to their advantage, right? So I will never forget, I heard this quote one time. The guy basically said, who would you hire, a person with a master's degree in business or a mother with 5 children? But you're going to choose a mother with 5 children because she knows how to manage so much: her house, her children, her career, and things like that. So let's just shout out to all the women before we get into this. And so yeah, I just came up with a list of some things that I think would be good ideas based on my experience or things that I've seen. And so I want to talk about the first one. First one is landlord. So I know I said little to no cost, and I'm actually a real estate agent. For anybody that doesn't know, I'm a real estate agent in Maryland. And so being a landlord is not hard. I am a landlord. It's easy to get into, and actually the cost is minimal depending on your market, and also depends on a few different things, but I feel like it can happen. And if I could do it with nobody like teaching me anything and just doing research, then you can do it too. So I would say landlord. I was able to buy my first investment property, which was my primary residence. I paid $6,000 to get into it, but I made $19,000 within my first 12 months. And so I'll talk about the details in another video, but that is definitely a hack to get into. What I actually did was called house hacking. If you're not familiar with it, where you just pretty much purchase a property and then you rent out portions of that property in order to live mortgage free or pay little to nothing. So I was paying $50 a month out of pocket, and then my tenants were paying more. So they were covering the mortgage itself, which definitely, that's what allowed me to pocket that additional money, which amounted to the profit I made within 12 months. So landlord is major, and it's not hard at all. It's just key things that you need to know to make sure that you're safe, make sure your tenants are safe, and make sure your property is safe. So subscribe if you want to learn more about that, because I'm definitely going to talk about that. Next thing is to sell food. So as women, I feel like we're better cooks than men majority of the time, and it's just in us. So a quick example, my father, I could become a woman, but my father actually was a chef, and so he used to make like a lot of fresh fish and stuff like that. He worked for a seafood restaurant, and so he had taught me how to make tuna. And so I learned how to make like fresh tuna. Like, you buy the fresh fish, like you cut it, you season it, you shred it, like. And so anytime like I make tuna, like my friends are like, I'm coming for the tuna. Like, so just like, I just say that to give you an example of, if I wanted to, I can sell tuna and I can make money from it, So it just shows you like the little ideas of things and how you could turn them into a business, something you're already doing. So selling food. And shout out to Naughty Plates. That's like a local food place we have here in Maryland. She sells food, and yeah, it's that's just an example of a business selling food and then being able to use a passion and turn it into a business. So that's number 2. So number 3 I have is being a travel agent. So they do have some travel agent companies where you can treat it as a business, where you get paid like a business, right? And so you build the business, you run it on your own how you want, but you have access to discounts in hotels. So I had learned like about travel agents and the discounts they get like a few years ago, but they get huge discounts. And so every time you book a trip for somebody, you can make money. Or if you're booking a trip for a whole family, that's when you make a lot of money. But even if you're booking a trip, and let's say, I saw an example one time, and I said like, if you book like a Marriott hotel, let's say I look it up on my own, and it might say like 300 a night. They're able to get it for like 120 a night. I mean, just an example, right? But they're able to get it for like 120 a night. But then that big discount allows for you to put your $50 or $75 fee in it, because they're going to save money. Your client's going to save money anyway, and then they're willing to pay you that $50 or $75 just by using your network to get the discount. So travel agents, definitely check that out. I think that is a great one to be a travel agent. The next one is hair. So shout out to all my Black women. I know you know what I'm talking about when it comes to hair, especially when it comes to like braids, like these knotless braids, $600 to $1,000 just to get knotless braids. If you know how to do hair, or if you're interested in learning how to do it, I feel like that's a great place to start to open up a business. You could do it on your friends, you could do it on yourself, and I feel like that's like the easiest way to get clients as well, because if your hair looks good, people are going to ask you where'd you get your hair done, then you can offer your prices. And not saying like you have to be cheap either, because $300 compared to $600, you're going to get business at $300, you know. So I think it's doing hair is a really good opportunity. More specifically from my experience, braids, you're going to be able to make a lot of money. So hair, I think, is a good idea. The self-care niche, you know, I feel like self-care niche, like self-care has been trending for a little while now, and for good reason. I think like when it comes to self-care, if you can position yourself somewhere in there, whether it's lashes or whether it's eyebrows, whether it's like, I think they have like body sculpting now, like there's so many things that you can do in order to establish yourself within that self-care category, in order to open up a business about, like, if you have an interest in it, or if it's something you do and you would like to do it on your own. Number 6, I have trucking. So I know it contradicts the whole woman thing, but I'm going to tell you why I put it on this list. So I actually have a few cousins, they're men, and they have trucking companies, but I realized that they need women on the back end. So I feel like as a woman, if you have the opportunity, or you build up your business credit, or whatever the case might be, you can build a business credit, you can get financing to get a truck, you get a driver, and then you do all of the dispatching on the back end. So you would have the truck's routes available, you know, because 9 times out of 10 women do that anyway. And so now the person driving the truck, either it could be your partner, or it could be you just hire somebody, you know. So I feel like that is good, because if you get the business, little to no cost, you're financing the truck, you do have to pay some money. From my understanding, it's probably like a couple thousand to get all the paperwork and everything in place. But I feel like it's a good place to be, because also like the money that I see that they make is really good. So I think I wanted to include trucking just from my perspective. I feel like it's a good place to be. It's a good place to start if that's something you're interested in and you want to be making that money, because I feel like they make really good money. Like I'm talking thousands. So yes, I think trucking is a good one, and I think women can actually dominate that. And there's actually a woman on TikTok that does trucking, and so she makes a lot of money. She talks about it as well. And I'll see if I can find her TikTok and put it here for you guys to check her out. Number 7 is event planning or wedding planning. So event planning or wedding planning, I feel like this is such a good one, because number one, you know, when people get married, it's from what I've heard, like it's a lot of stress, it's a lot of, you know, pieces, a lot of moving pieces. So I feel like this is something you can get into because the money that you're spending will be mainly on marketing, right? The client is paying for all of the things, so you really need to just put in money to get the education portion, to make sure that you're going to be delivering the best you can to be the event planner or wedding planner. And also corporate events. If you can get into corporate events, I feel like that's big money. So if you have an interest in that, definitely check out event planning or wedding planning. Set design or photography, I feel like either or combined, I feel like that's a really good place to be. You know, like I feel like we're in the day and age, it's been a while, like we do photo shoots, right, for our birthdays or a milestone event. So I think set design is really good. I have a really great set designer at CC Bloom, on TikTok and IG, and so she's really good. You can get ideas or ask her any questions that you have to see like what I'm referring to when I say set design. She does set design, or being a photographer. Women love to take pictures. We love to. I have friends when we go on vacation, they leave early to go take pictures. So I feel like just being a photographer and bringing visions to life for people and women is a great opportunity to have in order to make money. So there's so many ways to make money. It's like you just gotta pick one, you know, pick one or pick a few. Pick a few. And number 9 I have is sell your skills and services. When you have something or you know something, it's easy to assume that nobody else knows it. So it's easy to be like, oh yeah, like I did that. Like it's no big deal to the person that did it. But to a lot of people, they need help. And so if you can find out what that is, like think about what your friends come to you and ask you about, the type of advice they come to ask you about. That's a clear indication. And I had to step back and find that for myself. So I had one of my friends, Maya, and she used to be like, oh my God, like I can't believe you had a party store. And I'd be like, I mean, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Like, you know, because I didn't think it was special per se, but like what somebody can see in you, sometimes we don't see in ourselves. So what your friends are coming to talk to you about, I would say definitely take heed, like listen, and then find a void in the market. And sometimes you don't even have to find a void. Just start offering it and see what happens. Like sometimes we overthink a lot of stuff, and when we overthink, like we just make it harder for ourselves. That's how I came on my ebook, right? Then I was like, okay, well, let me just, you know, offer my ebook and see, and like it's been doing great. There's people that are trying to build business credit and they have no idea where to start. So that's why I put together my ebook, my step-by-step ebook. Shameless plug. My step-by-step my step-by-step ebook, The Business Credit Finesse, on how I built business credit to open up my party store. It's in the description box below. And then number 10 I put is to find a void and fill it. So I say that because you have a perspective on life that other people don't have. Like nobody is like you, right? Nobody can see what you see. The same way somebody might do a shea butter business is not going to be the same way that you would do it, right? Like you can get a product and because of your experience say, okay, I can make it better in this way. And that's all based on your perspective. It's not to say that yours is that you're saying you're better than anybody or anything, but that's your perspective. And so your perspective will allow your own set of customers that see the uniqueness in your product or your service and what you bring to the table. So definitely I would say look at how you see things in life. Look at what your friends and family tell you, what advice they come to you for, what help they come to you for, and ask yourself, is this something that I enjoy? If it doesn't even feel like work, that tells you a lot. And then you can say, okay, well, I want to offer this to people, you know. And I would say just go for it. Like I said before, don't overthink it. I overthink things a lot, but I'm really trying to get out of the habit of overthinking and just doing, right? And going where your heart feels led to go, and where it feels natural. Do what feels natural to you. Don't do what feels forced. Don't do something that you don't feel comfortable with. Don't get me wrong, there's going to be uncomfortable moments, but do where your heart leads you. So that's all I'm really trying to say. At the end of the day, these are things that, of course, everything costs money in this world, right? But when I say little to no cost, I'm referring to like less than $5,000. Anything that you want to make happen, you can make happen. Money should not stop you from doing what you need to do. You can definitely make it happen. You got to think big and do big. So I hope this was helpful to you guys. Let me know down below which ideas you like, which idea you're going to try, which ideas you have tried. And let's have a discussion down below. I want to talk about it. I want to discuss with you guys. And make sure you subscribe. I'm going to be talking about, like I said, all my experiences. I've had so many businesses. Tell me a successful person and how many failed businesses they've had. Like, I am that person. I'm going to try everything, right? Until something sticks. So that's just my experience. So I hope you guys found value in this video. And make sure you give it a like and subscribe. And don't forget to comment and tell me what you guys think. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.